What is up, everybody? I've had a kind of interesting afternoon. I came to this location to film a video. I walked around like 40 minutes to find this spot. I set everything up and then I realized I didn't actually have my microphone with me, like an idiot. So then I went to Chipotle to make myself feel better. Went home, ate, grabbed my microphone, came back out here, and now I'm here to film this video. And today I want to talk about a recent realization that I've had, one that I feel like I keep realizing, a lesson that I've learned and keep relearning. Learned it, I forgot it, I remembered it, I forgot it again, I relearned it, you know, and that sort of cycle. Learn, forget, remember, learn, forget, remember. A few days ago, I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw this video that was titled Ocean Vuong. When I write, I feel larger than the limits of my body. And as an aspiring writer, I was kind of curious and intrigued, to say the least. And so I clicked on the video not knowing what I would find. But what I found in that video honestly really moved me and is still moving through me right now. Within 5 seconds of listening to Ocean Vuong speak, I was absolutely entranced. There was something about his aesthetic, his speech, the tone, and his presence that narrowed my attention onto the interview. And I kid you not, the hair on my skin was standing on end and goosebumps swept over my skin. It's like I was listening to like a really profound piece of music that was just hitting me in my soul. Listening to him hit me in my soul. There was something about him that resonated with something within me. You know, even through the internet, he seemed to have this aura about him that, from my perspective, came from his dedicated literary practice. And I watched this video and I was like, wow, if I keep pursuing my reading and I keep pursuing my writing, then maybe I can be like that. And I want to be like that guy. So, needless to say, I sent that video to some of my closest friends who I thought would appreciate it, and proceeded to binge watch every Q&A or interview that I could find about Ocean Vuong. Though, while I was inspired, I was also vaguely aware of this cold undercurrent carrying a sense of uneasiness that I couldn't quite make out at the time. A few days later, I was hanging out with one of my best friends and I asked him what he thought about Ocean Vuong in the interview. We talked and we tried to dissect him to try to get closer to that it thing that some people have, that magnetism, that charisma, the invisible spark that makes someone stand out from the crowd, you know what I mean? And he said something that was very, very interesting that stuck out to me. He said something to the effect of, you can just tell when someone is being true to themselves. You can just tell when someone is being true to themselves. And I've just been sitting on that, meditating on that, and just like, you can tell. And that's what made me realize that recently I really have not been being true to myself. I'm in Massachusetts right now visiting family, and I'm now at the point in my life where I'm trying to pursue video full time, and I have not been doing as much work as I feel like I should be doing. You know, I kind of slipped a little bit and I started to watch a little bit too much YouTube, a little bit too much Reddit, a little bit too much, you know, Netflix, scrolling, whatever. Just spending too much time on things that are immediately gratifying and not spending my time pursuing and immersing myself in the things that actually matter to me. You know, I had very clear intentions and promises that I set to myself, that when I came to Massachusetts, I would work on videos, I would read, and I would write, and that was the only thing that I would spend my time doing. And I felt strong in that conviction, and then I came to Massachusetts, and I just kind of fell off the horse a little bit, and I just feel like I haven't been living my life, you know, the life that I envisioned for myself. And in that way, I haven't been true to myself. If someone had come up to me and asked me, what have you been up to? You know, my mind would be filled with all of the ways that I've been fucking off instead of actually doing the things that I know that I should be doing. If somebody asks me that question and I say, oh, you know, just hanging out, I'm not being truthful to them and I'm not being truthful to myself. Because the truth is, I've been fucking off and doing what I shouldn't be doing instead of doing the things that I know I should be doing. And I don't want to admit that to them, and I don't want to admit that to myself. And so what I'm actually doing is hiding myself from them and the world. And it just had me thinking, like, what happens when you do that over time? When you're not doing what you know you should be doing, when you're not being true to yourself. Like, whose life are you living exactly? You're moving through the world and you're hidden within yourself because you don't want to reveal yourself. You don't want to be seen. Like, whose life is that exactly? And I've kind of been feeling like shit recently. I've been feeling very low, anxious, like insecure, not confident at all. And then that made me realize, like, oh yeah, duh. Why is my brain gonna allow me to feel good about myself when I've been fucking off and doing wrong? And of course, you know, there's self-compassion for falling off the horse. And I feel like that's all of life, is just falling off the horse and getting back on, and falling off the horse and getting back on. And you need to be nice to yourself and gracious to yourself and have self-compassion and know that, you know, I'm a flawed human being and I'm gonna fall off the horse. That's what it is, you know. So there's that whole layer of it too. But nonetheless, I have been deciding to avoid the things that I know that I should be doing, and that is wrong. And so, you know, I'm apologizing to you and to myself and to God for falling off the horse, and just remembering that I need to be true to myself at the deepest level. When nobody else is watching, I still need to do my reading. I still need to do my sitting and meditating. I need to do my yoga practice. I need to do all of the things that I envision for myself so that I can make myself a better person for myself, for my friends and my family, for the community, and for the broader world. And I feel like that's the way to self-confidence, self-acceptance, to psychological well-being, to happiness for that matter, to happiness. Because what greater fortification in oneself than knowing that when everybody else wasn't looking, I was still living with integrity. I was acting in accordance and out of my primary values. And even further than that, when you fortify yourself, and you have all of these external pressures trying to change you to behave in a different way, a way that's kind of adverse to your own sense of ethics and morality. But then you're able to withstand that because you are being true to yourself. I feel like that's who I want to be. Vuong was saying that for his recent book on Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, he went to a bunch of editors, and the editors were saying, you need to change this, you need to change this. This isn't standard. You're not following the conventional wisdom of how things are done. And he stood his ground and he said, no, this is my story. This is my story. This is how I want to tell my story. And he stood his ground, and he has a miraculous book that has won all sorts of awards, and like, he's just the man. And I want to be that kind of person who is true to myself and stands my ground and lives my life, because I feel like there is where you garner that sense of magnetism and that charisma, that it factor, because you are your own person at that point. And then you have something unique that you can share with the world and help people and give people a new perspective that they haven't seen before, because your perspective is fresh and individuated. The truth shall set you free, they say. The truth shall set you free. Yeah, so I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I was being a piece of shit. I don't want to be a piece of shit anymore. I want to be true to myself and stay true to the promises that I set for myself so that I can be a better person and be a better person in the world. So I suppose I just leave you guys with, are you being true to yourselves? Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of others.